The Super Bowl that shook hip-hop for years. There was one performance that many hip-hop fans believed had already been written. Super Bowl 59, New Orleans, Louisiana, Lil Wayne's hometown, to millions of fans. It wasn't even a debate. It felt inevitable. The artist who had spent decades putting New Orleans on the map, the rapper who helped redefine Southern hip-hop, the man many still call the best rapper alive, would finally headline the biggest stage in entertainment. Instead, the NFL made a different choice. Kendrick Lamar, almost overnight, one of the biggest conversations in music wasn't about who had been selected, it was about who hadn't. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications. Here at Fake Famous, we tell the stories behind music's biggest legends and the moments that changed music forever. This was one of those moments when the NFL officially announced Kendrick Lamar as the halftime performer for Super Bowl 59. The internet exploded. Some fans celebrated. After all, Kendrick had just completed one of the biggest years of his career. His music dominated conversations. His battle with Drake captivated hip-hop. His records topped the charts. Winning the halftime show felt like another historic accomplishment. But another group of fans saw something completely different. They weren't upset because Kendrick was performing. They were upset because the game was taking place in New Orleans. To them, this wasn't just another city. This was Lil Wayne's city, the city that raised him, the city he represented for decades, the city he carried onto the global stage long before Southern hip-hop became mainstream. For many people, passing over Lil Wayne felt personal. Within hours, social media filled with debates, former athletes weighed in, rappers shared opinions, media personalities argued back and forth. The question became unavoidable. How do you host the Super Bowl in New Orleans and not choose Lil Wayne? Many fans pointed to Wayne's resume. 5 Grammy Awards, countless platinum albums, one of the greatest mixtape runs in music history. The discovery of Drake and Nicki Minaj, more than 2 decades of influence. To them, his legacy spoke for itself. Others argued something different. The NFL wasn't rewarding lifetime achievement. They were choosing the artist they believed would deliver the biggest cultural moment right now. That artist was Kendrick Lamar. For weeks, the debate only intensified. Every interview, every podcast, every sports show, every hip-hop platform eventually circled back to the same question. Should hometown legends automatically receive the Super Bowl? Or should the NFL always choose whoever they believe is the hottest artist at that moment? It became much bigger than Lil Wayne. It became a debate about legacy, timing, respect, and what artists believe they owe the cities that helped build them. Ironically, the person at the center of the controversy was one of the quietest voices in the entire conversation, Lil Wayne himself. While millions argued on his behalf, Wayne remained surprisingly calm, and that may have been the biggest surprise of all. The hip-hop world responds as the days passed. The conversation only grew louder. This wasn't just fans arguing on social media anymore. Some of the biggest names in hip-hop began speaking out. Artists who had been inspired by Lil Wayne, producers who had watched him change the culture, and longtime friends all questioned the decision. To many of them, this wasn't about disrespecting Kendrick Lamar, it was about honoring New Orleans. For decades, Lil Wayne had proudly represented his city everywhere he went. Whether he was accepting Grammy Awards, headlining festivals, or shouting out Holly Grove in his lyrics, Wayne never forgot where he came from. That's why so many people believe this Super Bowl was different. If the game had been played in Miami, no one would have expected Wayne. If it had been played in Los Angeles, there would have been little controversy. But New Orleans? That felt like his stage. One of the loudest voices supporting Wayne was fellow New Orleans legend Master P. He publicly expressed disappointment, saying the city deserved to celebrate one of its greatest musical icons on the biggest stage in sports. Birdman also made it clear where he stood. For him, the decision wasn't just surprising, it was personal, after all. He had watched Wayne grow from a 12-year-old kid into one of the greatest rappers in history. Many fans echoed those same feelings. They pointed to Wayne's influence. Without Lil Wayne, would there even be a Drake? Would there be a Nicki Minaj? Would today's generation of melodic rappers sound the way they do? His fingerprints are all over modern hip-hop. To many, that influence alone made him worthy of the halftime show. Others defended the NFL's decision. They argued that Kendrick Lamar had earned the opportunity through one of the biggest years of his career. His critically acclaimed music, his Pulitzer Prize, his commercial success, and his massive cultural impact made him a logical choice. Some fans fans even pointed out that the halftime show isn't selected by the host city. It's a business decision involving the NFL, its entertainment partners, and the production team. That meant the decision wasn't simply about geography. It was about creating the biggest possible moment for a global audience. Still, the emotional connection many people had to Lil Wayne made it difficult for them to separate business from loyalty. The debate quickly became one of the biggest hip-hop conversations of the year. Sports networks covered it, music podcasts debated it, YouTube creators made countless videos breaking down both sides. Everywhere people looked, the same question kept coming up. Did the NFL make the right choice? Or did they miss a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to honor one of New Orleans' greatest cultural ambassadors? The answer depended entirely on who you asked. But through all the noise, one person continued handling the situation very differently than almost everyone else: Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's response. As the debate continued to dominate headlines, people waited for one voice: Lil Wayne's. Would he be angry? Would he call out the NFL? Would he criticize Kendrick Lamar? Would he publicly demand an explanation? Instead, Wayne did something very few people expected. He spoke honestly. In a video shared with his fans, Lil Wayne admitted the decision hurt him. He explained that when he learned the Super Bowl would be played in New Orleans, he genuinely believed he would be selected to perform. In his mind, it wasn't arrogance, it was hope. He had spent decades representing New Orleans. He believed that moment was finally coming, when it didn't. The disappointment was real. Wayne told fans the experience had broken him emotionally. He admitted he wasn't mentally prepared for the announcement to go another direction. He said he blamed himself for believing it was already his opportunity. For many fans, it was one of the rare moments they saw Lil Wayne speak so openly about disappointment. There was no yelling, no public attacks, no disrespect toward Kendrick Lamar, just honesty. And perhaps that's why so many people respected the way he handled it. While others continued arguing online, Wayne focused on healing. He encouraged fans to keep supporting him instead of attacking someone else. That detail often gets overlooked. Despite all the outrage surrounding the halftime show, Lil Wayne never turned Kendrick Lamar into the villain. He understood something many fans didn't. Kendrick didn't choose the city, he didn't choose the venue, and he wasn't responsible for how the NFL selected its performers. The opportunity was presented to him. And, like almost any artist in history, he accepted it. Still, the conversation refused to disappear. Every time Kendrick's Super Bowl performance was mentioned, someone brought up Lil Wayne. Every time Wayne gave an interview, someone asked about the halftime show. The moment had become bigger than a performance. It had become a symbol of how quickly public expectations can become public disappointment. Some people believed the NFL had missed an opportunity to honor a hometown legend. Others believed they had simply chosen the artist who was having the biggest cultural moment. Neither side seemed willing to change its mind. Then, something unexpected happened. Instead of dividing hip-hop forever, the conversation slowly evolved into something much bigger. It became a discussion about legacy. Not just Lil Wayne's legacy, but what artists are truly owed after decades of changing the culture. If you're enjoying this documentary so far, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and let us know in the comments. Should hometown legends always headline the Super Bowl when it's hosted in their city? We read every comment and we'd love to hear your opinion, because regardless of where people stood, almost everyone agreed on one thing. Lil Wayne had already given New Orleans something far greater than a halftime show. He had given the city a legacy that could never be taken away. Did Jay's make the right call? As the conversation continued, the focus slowly shifted. At first, fans blamed the NFL, but then many people remembered something important. The NFL wasn't making this decision alone. Since 2019, Jay-Z and Roc Nation have played a major role in producing and selecting the Super Bowl halftime show. That changed everything. Now the debate had a face. Jay-Z. For some fans, the decision made perfect sense. Kendrick Lamar had just completed one of the biggest years of his career. His lyrical battle with Drake became a cultural phenomenon. His music dominated streaming. His records topped the charts. He had won multiple Grammy Awards, a Pulitzer Prize, and had become one of the most respected artists of his generation. From a business perspective, Kendrick was arguably the hottest rapper in the world. Many believe Jay-Z simply chose the artist having the biggest moment, but others saw it very differently. They argued this wasn't just another Super Bowl, this was New Orleans, Lil Wayne's city, the city he spent decades putting on the map. They believed no artist represented New Orleans more than Wayne, so when Jay-Z chose Kendrick instead, Many fans felt like a hometown legend had been overlooked. The criticism became impossible to ignore. Master P publicly questioned the decision. Birdman made his feelings known. Former athletes, media personalities, and countless artists joined the conversation. Social media exploded with one simple question: how do you bring the Super Bowl to New Orleans and not let Lil Wayne perform? Supporters of Jay-Z pushed back. They argued that the halftime show isn't designed as a lifetime achievement award. Its purpose is to create the biggest cultural moment possible. From that perspective, Kendrick Lamar was the obvious choice. His momentum was unmatched, his catalog appealed to multiple generations, and his recent success made him one of the most talked about artists on earth. Neither side was completely wrong. One side valued legacy, the other valued timing. One side believed hometown loyalty should matter. The other believed the biggest stage should always feature the artist creating the biggest moment. And standing in the middle of it all was Jay-Z, a man who had spent his entire career making difficult business decisions. Whether fans agreed with him or not, his decision created one of the biggest debates hip-hop had seen in years. Because sometimes, there isn't a perfect choice, only two legendary artists, and one impossible decision. Was Lil Wayne really snubbed? As the dust finally began to settle, one question remained. Was Lil Wayne actually snubbed? Or did the music industry simply witness one of the hardest decisions in Super Bowl history? The answer depends on who you ask. If you ask a business executive, the decision makes perfect sense. Kendrick Lamar had just experienced one of the biggest runs of his career. His battle with Drake became a global conversation. His music dominated streaming platforms. His concerts sold out around the world. He was arguably the biggest name in hip-hop at that moment. From a business perspective, Jay-Z selected the artist with the hottest momentum. That's exactly what many people believe the halftime show is supposed to do. But if you ask the people of New Orleans, you may hear a completely different answer. To them, Lil Wayne isn't just another rapper. He's a symbol of the city itself. When people think about New Orleans hip-hop, they think about Cash Money, Young Money, Holly Grove, the Hot Boys, and Lil Wayne. For more than 25 years, Wayne proudly carried New Orleans with him everywhere he went. He never changed where he came from, never stopped shouting out his city, never stopped representing Louisiana. That's why so many fans felt this moment was bigger than music. It was about respect. It was about legacy. It was about giving a hometown hero the opportunity to perform in front of the city that helped create him. Some people even argued that this opportunity may never come again. The Super Bowl doesn't visit New Orleans every year. For many fans, this felt like a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and once it passed, it was gone. Still, perhaps the most impressive part of this entire story was Lil Wayne himself. He could have attacked Jay-Z, he could have criticized Kendrick Lamar, he could have turned the situation into months of headlines. Instead, he chose dignity. He admitted he was disappointed, he admitted it hurt, but he never tried to tear another artist down. That response reminded people why so many artists respect him, because true legends understand something. Recognition is earned over a lifetime, not in a single performance. Today, Lil Wayne's legacy doesn't depend on one halftime show. His influence can already be heard in almost every generation of rappers that followed him. Drake, Nicki Minaj, Young Thug, Future, Travis Scott, Lil Baby. Even Kendrick Lamar himself has spoken about Lil Wayne's influence on hip-hop. That's what makes this debate so interesting. It was never really about Kendrick versus Wayne. It was about two different definitions of greatness. One represented the hottest artist of the moment. The other represented a lifetime of influence. Neither argument is unreasonable. And maybe that's exactly why people are still talking about it today. Years from now, fans probably won't remember every detail of the Super Bowl selection process, but they'll remember the conversation it created. A conversation about respect, legacy, loyalty, and what we owe the artists who helped shape the culture. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure you subscribe to Fake Famous, like this video, and turn on notifications. And let us know in the comments, did Jay-Z make the right decision? Or should Lil Wayne have headlined the Super Bowl in New Orleans? Because one thing is certain, this debate isn't ending anytime soon.